Welcome. My name is Moni C. I'm a creative mindset coach and your host. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Tara Wiskow. She's an intuitive energy healer. Tara, thank you for being here today with us. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, your story, and what was the turning point in your life? The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Moni C. It is such a pleasure to get to be here and spend some time with you. Where the turning point. So let me start. I'm Tara Wiskow. I'm an intuitive energy healer. I live in northern Minnesota, and that's where I've lived all my life. I'm a mom of 3 boys, and the turning point for me of where everything changed in my life actually started at 8 years old when I discovered that my dad was not my dad. And all of a sudden I started to see the differences from me and my family. They had blonde hair and blue eyes. For those of you that don't see me, very dark brown hair and very dark brown eyes. And so in the appearances weren't just the difference, Moni C, it was everything in every way we were different. So at 8 years old and beyond, I started to shift myself because I'd learned that my biological dad had not chosen to be in my life. And so I believed, as many of us young children believe, when something like this occurs, there's something wrong with me. I did something wrong. And so I didn't want to be abandoned by anybody else. So shape-shifting and becoming who I believed everybody preferred me to be became my life. And it followed me into adulthood. And honestly, if I'm very open and honest with you and transparent, it didn't truly stop until about 2 years ago when the next pinnacle moment of my life happened and I lost my baby sister to cancer. She very short cancer experience, which is such a blessing. And once she left is when I began to receive intuitive messages from me. She came into my life and spoke to me. She gave me the message. She guided me into finally becoming my most authentic self and saying, I'm an intuitive energy healer. That's who I am. And loving every bit of me is a result of her coming into my life in that capacity.
It's a fascinating story. What is your background as far as, studies and working?
I'm an elementary ed teacher. That's where my basis starts. So for me, education is very important. Knowledge is power. And it's very important for me to be in the knowing, certified, understanding when I'm implementing anything. We're changing lives. I work with women and their lives are being changed. I have to know what I'm doing and I need to have the tools that are going to be able to make that happen. And so as a weight loss coach, I'm a certified nutrition coach, also a personal trainer. In the space of energy healing, I utilize Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It's NLP also. So I'm a practitioner of that, where we're working with the conscious and unconscious mind to bring them from being unaligned to actually aligned and working together, releasing limiting beliefs, releasing negative emotions, allowing you to let go of the version of you that you've believed you had to be because you've been living behind these lies that you've continued to say to yourself. I also have integrated energy therapy certification. This is known as IET. And in this, closely related to Reiki. A lot of people will hear Reiki. So it's closely related, but different in a lot of ways. And in this space is where I do the energy healing. This is releasing out the negative energy. It's releasing out the blocks and the programs and the beliefs in all 4 bodies, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, because our body never forgets. I work in mindset, and you work to shift the mind, as you, Moni C, know so very much about. However, what I've also learned is that our body never, ever forgets it because our nervous system stores these experiences, the trauma, and they become blocks in our body. So when I come in as an energy healer and I'm clearing it out using integrated energy therapy, using energy clearing in the certification that I've received and grown to know and use, we're actually freeing your body. I like to look at it this way. We're very fluent in cardiovascular, so the blood flow. When you have a heart attack, when you have something not okay with your heart, it's because there's blood flow that's blocked somewhere in your body. when we're in the energy space, when we have energy that's being blocked because we have a traumatic experience that's blocking it, we have a belief that's blocking it, we have something that's imprinted in a life experience, something that's passed down generationally or come from a past life, that's blocking a part of our body, which means energy cannot flow naturally. And when that happens, we start to find ourselves in self-doubt, self-sabotage. We begin to feel experiences of maybe depression or anxiety or the inability to move past where we feel we're stuck. And so goals are things that we wish could actually be ours, but feel that they never can be.
And what is your ideal client?
My ideal client is a woman from the age of 30 years to 65 years old. She's a woman she's done all the things. She's tried all the things. She has replaced her wants and desires for everybody else in her life. I get such goosebumps because my ideal client is a woman that has lived vicariously in her happiness and her love and her joy and her life experiences through everything that she's created for everybody else in her life. She's the woman that has stood on the sidelines and has smiled and said, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm okay. And on the inside, she's felt that nothing is okay. My ideal client is a woman that looks in the mirror and she wonders, who is this? Where did that one girl go that used to laugh and smile and have a sparkle in her eyes? Where's that one girl? Where is she? That's my ideal client. My ideal client is the woman that says, I'm done putting myself last. I'm done trying to find myself like a needle in a haystack. I'm ready to rise and I'm ready to find myself and I'm ready to come home because now is a time that I get to commit to myself, love myself unconditionally, and show up for me in all the ways that I've shown up for everybody else in my life for decades.
It's fascinating. And so the modalities, you are basically an expert at almost every modality. You do NLP, right? So depending on the client, because everybody's different, you use different techniques or you have a structure every time you work with a client?
I have a structure that is a structure for the purpose of having a structure. But as you said, every single client is completely different in what they've experienced and what they're looking to achieve. And so there will be times where maybe one of my women using NLP, limiting belief release work and negative emotion release work is the gist of what she needs in NLP, or maybe she needs that and she needs some modality belief change and she needs parts integration. So there's a lot of different modalities or pieces I can pull out of NLP to use, and I do based on each woman. When it comes to integrated energy therapy, that across the board is what it is. I call it my soul medicine healing session, and that's where I combine the integrated energy therapy and energy clearing and hypnosis all together as needed. When it comes to hypnosis and going deeper into that, this is when I found that I've done NLP, I've done the IET, we're still blocked by something that is deeper than what I found in NLP and IET, which is very uncommon, Moni C, because it's so deep. It is one of the deepest healing modalities that you can use. It's very uncommon to not have cleared that out. However, I'm not against pulling in hypnosis and going in and being able to drop deep into my client to pull from their unconscious mind the message that I need, the understanding what's blocking them. So to really state it, yes, there's a structure that I have that's built out, and I deviate away from it and navigate where I know is necessary for each individual client based on their needs.
And can you give our audience a practical tip that they can start doing today to reconnect with their inner selves and reclaim their authenticity?
Yes, I'd love to. I actually speak about this from the stage as a keynote speaker. To start coming home to your authentic self, one of the greatest ways to do that is to begin to uncover the statements that you say to yourself that are essentially lies. They're the things that you've been conditioned and programmed to believe, such as I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of love, I always fail. These are lies that continue to keep you stuck in a version of you living behind what I call fake identities or identities that have expired. They're outdated. And we need to uncover them. And once you uncover these statements that you're saying to yourself, so for instance, as a weight loss coach, I'll hear women say, I really would like to lose 50 pounds, but weight loss is impossible for me. There it is. All right. So we're going to write that down. Weight loss is impossible for me. Now, every lie has a truth, always has and always will. So let's write that in a red pen underneath that. What is the truth? Weight loss is absolutely possible for me and always has been. That's the truth. Now, it's very important to know that this is going to feel very foreign to you because you've never believed this. You've never thought that this was possible for you. It's going to feel uncomfortable to write this down because you're going to feel like you're a liar, which you're not, because you've been speaking a lie to yourself. And this is a truth that you get to learn to encompass and speak with conviction. Once you have that written down, then you're going to speak the lie out loud. Weight loss is impossible for me. And then next, what you do, this is teaching your unconscious mind to release it, is to say, no, that's not true. Weight loss is possible for me and always has been possible for me. And then now we use the eraser on your pencil and we erase the lie. We take it, we get rid of it. And now every day I want you to speak that truth. And I want you to speak it in the mirror. I want you to speak it as many times as you need to throughout your day in order to integrate this truth into your body. Neuroplasticity will allow you to close down that neural pathway in your brain that once said weight loss is impossible for me. And we'll just say it puts a roadblock there and it creates a new neural pathway that is now saying weight loss is possible for me. And we now start to shift the belief that you have for yourself around this identity. And the reason why I share this, and I'm saying weight loss because it's the easiest for us to connect with, is when we can get released from these lies that we've believed, that's when we start coming home to our authentic self, because we really get to understand who we are. We start to uncover what we know about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, and these emotions that we've been holding down and not feeling, these thoughts that we really truly do believe, but we've been blocking, they start to surface. And that allows our authentic self to start rising up and presenting herself to us first. And then we get to decide when we're ready to let the world know that she exists and always has existed.
And do you work with, let's say, teenagers?
I have, yes, I do. I'm very, very careful. I always have a parent that comes in with that. I do work with teenagers, and I say careful only because in that age range, we have some deep, deep scars that are surfacing, especially when they're young. And there's a lot of uncertainty for them coming in. There's a lot of growth that's happening. There's so many things with teenagers. I remember being that girl at that time frame where I was trying to figure out who I was. It's like taking the training wheels off, and I was completely lost. And I wish then I would have had a woman like myself that would have been able to take me under her wing and help me learn that I could unravel these lies that I was living behind and create new truths for myself.
And do you work also with together with therapists? Do you do the work together?
I don't work directly with therapists. However, I'm in communication through my client to them. I love that you asked that question because that's so important to me. I get asked that. Do you replace therapists? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because some women absolutely need therapists in their life. And I think that's important. I work with them in the communication. And so frequently, therapists come back and say the work that you're doing with Tara is absolutely incredible. Continue to do that. And we see together as this triangle, I keep doing this, I don't know why, but I'm meaning a triangle is absolutely that the client's results are exponentially like faster and deeper because we're working together rather than against each other.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I see more and more. Well, Tara, so many more questions, but the time is up, and we must definitely meet you again.
Would love that.
I thank you so much for coming here and sharing your story, your information, your knowledge, and you're truly inspiring. You're changing the world. So thank you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Yes, and don't stop. And we will definitely see you again in the near future. Until then, ciao, Tara. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.